I hope you all are safe at your home, right? Today we will discuss about the nucleus actually, right? Nucleus is actually the brain of the cell, right? In the previous lectures, we had discussed about this plasma membrane, different functions of plasma membrane, and the cell wall. Cell wall actually does not present in case of plant, in case of animals. It is present in case of plants only, right? Nucleus is present in both the cases, in plant as well as animal. One more thing about the nucleus is that the prokaryotic nucleus and eukaryotic nucleus we will discuss today. Firstly, we will discuss about the structure of the nucleus and what is the function of the nucleus and what is the composition of the nucleus. Simply, nucleus is a double membrane. Nucleus is a double membrane organelle, and it is a very important organelle actually, because nucleus consists the genetic material simply, right? And due to this genetic material, all the information are passed from one generation to another generation. So nucleus is a very important organelle. Similarly, nuclear is present actually. For example, this is your cell, this is the cytoplasm, this is the plasma membrane. There is another nucleus, another organelle is present, is called the nucleus, which is a double membrane organelle and consists a minute pore over this organelle membrane, because for the exchange of material from inside to outside and from cytoplasm to the nucleoplasm simply. So it these layers, these double layer, the outer layer and the inner layer, the layer which is present outside is called the outer layer of the nuclear membrane, and which is present the inner side is called the inner layer, right? On the outer surface there are the some pores are present, is called nuclear pore. Similarly, nucleus also consists a liquid, a fluid. This fluid is called actually the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. Plas means actually the fluid and nucleo means the nucleus fluid. So nucleus also consists their own nucleoplasm. And the nuclear pore, I had told you that for the exchange of gases, because some substances goes outside from the nucleus and some enter inside the nucleus from these pores simply, right? Next, what is the composition of nucleus actually? Nucleus is the main brain of the brain of the cell and very important organelle of the cell, because it consists the genetic material, the DNA. DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid. It is the composition of nucleic acid. It is made up of the nucleic acid, simply you can say that, and this nucleic acid is consists nitrogen and phosphorus compound actually. So this DNA is the actually our genetic material, right? It is responsible for pass the characters or traits, you can say that traits are passing from one generation, G1 simply you can say that, to the G2, generation 1 to generation 2, with the help of DNA. How it helped to pass the information from one generation to another generation? What is the actual process actually? Today we will discuss about all this. DNA have a rod shaped structure is called chromosome, right? These chromosomes actually consist this minute dot like structure or minute structure, or the basic structure actually is called the genes, right? And these genes actually consist the information about the different traits of your body, or the different plants and in different animals actually. So this is the basic concept. This is the smallest unit of actually DNA. DNA consists the various chromosomes. Various chromosomes consist the various genes which are responsible for transferring the characters from one generation to the another generation simply. So this is responsible for all these. But how these genes pass to the next generation actually? These genes through the gametic cells actually. What are the gametic cells? The cells which is produced by the male and female gamete are called gametic cells. For example, in case of male there are sperm is present, and in case of female there are egg are present. In these two cells, these two gametic cells, where half number of chromosomes are present actually. Through these cells, these two gametic cells fuse up, and after the fusion these genes also fuse up, and after the mixing of these genes the traits get different genes and the traits are transferred from the parents to the next generation. So nucleus is very important for the every cell. Every cell in your body, either it is a gametic cell or it is a somatic cell, it always consists DNA, because each cell actually the nucleus is the coordinating system of each cell. So it is present in all the cells, either it is a somatic cell, it is a neurotic cell, either it is a RBC, whatever kind of cell, all cells consist nucleus. Exceptions are, few exceptions are there. For example, in our RBC is anucleated. It means nucleus are absent in our RBC, because the lifespan of RBC blood cells are very short, so DNA does not required for this simply. Right, so this is the concept of the nucleus, and there are various organelles which arise from the nucleus and which help to transmit the nuclear matter to the cell simply. Right, one important thing about the DNA, one question is always asking about the DNA is that how it is the hereditary unit, how it is, why it is called the genetic material. So what you will write in that question is that because DNA consists the chromosomes, and chromosomes have various genes for the various traits, and these traits are transferred with the help of the male gamete and the female gamete by the fusion of male gamete and female gamete to the next generation. So DNA is actually responsible for passing the different traits, and this is the only nucleic acid, which have capability to store the information of whole the traits and whole the generation. It has capability to storing information, right? It does not leak their information, it store the information into in the form of chromosomes and gene, and these chromosome and gene are transmitted to the next generation simply with the help of these gametes actually, right? So your body have two type of cell. One is these cells are called gametic cells, and another cell which do not produce your gametes, do not produce sperms and egg in your body, but all the body consists different cell. These cells actually called the somatic cell. So we will use these two terms, the somatic cell and gametic cell, and always keep in mind it that somatic cell is always diploid. Diploid means N is here the number of chromosomes. The number of chromosomes are always double in case of somatic cells, but number of chromosomes are always half in case of gametic cell. For example, if we are human being, we have 23 pair of chromosome. It means total we have 46 chromosome. So in case of somatic cell there are always 46 chromosome, but in case of gametic cell there are only 23 and 23 chromosomes. Why they are always consist? Why gametic cell consists haploid number of chromosome या half number of chromosome? Because these cells have capability of fusion. After the fusion of sperm and egg, 23 plus 23, these chromosomes are also fused up and become double, so that they become half before the syngamy or before the fusion, simply you can say that. So if they are not reduce their chromosome number, then what will happen? 46 plus 46, there is 92. Total number of chromosome will be 92. It is not the number of human being. In human being there are 46 or 23 pair of chromosomes are present only. So we need, or gametic cell need to have their number of chromosome during the formation of gametes before the fusion. Before the fusion they become haploid in nature and they reduce their number of chromosomes, simply you can say that. Right, so this is about the gametic and somatic cell, which is depend on the concept of the DNA, and DNA is the genetic material of your cell, of every cell, either it is a somatic cell or either it is a gametic cell simply. But in case of gametic cell, it plays a very important role, because through these gametic cells only the information transfer from one generation to the another generation. So this is the concept of actually nucleus, because this nucleus actually control all the concept, all the cell processes, so it is called the brain of the cell. Instead of nucleus, nucleoplasm also consists an organelle is called the nucleosome, nucleolus. This nucleolus actually the brain of the nucleus. Nucleus is the brain of the cell, and this nucleolus is the brain of the nucleus. Actually, the division of the DNA, the division of the cell, the information of the DNA actually are controlled by this organelle nucleolus, because nucleus also need for any controlling agent, simply you can say that. So this is the controlling agent of the nucleus, simply you can say that, right? So this is about the nucleus. We will do an experiment in laboratory also for the nucleus and cytoplasm in our lab. For example, we will take the peel of the onion. Actually, peel of the onion is the basic you can say that laboratory reagent. You can say this is not completely laboratory reagent, but we will use it as a laboratory reagent because it give you the information about the nucleus and the cell and the plasma membrane, simply because the peel of the onion is the transparent, so we need to color it, or you can say that the mount it, because the colored particle is easily visible with your eyes under the microscope. So a small piece of onion peel, it should not be dry. Simply take a small piece of onion, put it over the slide, and make sure firstly mount it with the safranin dye, which is made up of safranin or kesar, you can say that. And another dye is also present in your laboratory, either it is the methylene blue, it is a blue color dye, and iodine you can also use for this experiment. It is a yellowish in color. So after this mounting the transparent peel, because the onion peel is transparent, then we will put this onion peel into any dye, either it is a safranin, it is a methylene blue, or iodine, what you actually have actually, right? So after dye, we put the piece of the section of your onion peel over the slide and cover it with the cover slip to avoid the contaminated particle which are present in the air. And you should also need to avoid air bubble during covering it with the cover slip. Air bubble should not be present over it. After seeing the microscope, what we will observe the small compartments with a small dot. So this dot is actually the nucleus, and these small compartments which are present in the onion peel are the cell of the onion peel actually, right? One more important thing during doing this experiment is that you should need to avoid the drying of the onion peel. If it is dry, then it become dead, and dead tissue you cannot observe under your microscope. So keep it in your mind. Take a section and immediately put into the water, right? After putting it to water, take another petri dish. Petri dish is a utility object which is we used in our laboratory. Take a small 1 or 2 drop of any dye, safranin, methylene blue, and put your section into it. After the 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, approx maximum 5 minutes, put out this section, put in over the slide, and cover it with the cover slip and see under the microscope. So this is the basic actually experiment which we will do for the observation of nucleus and the cytoplasm and the different cells simply, right? One small topic is there is the cytoplasm. What is the cytoplasm actually? Cytoplasm is actually the fluid of the cell where the different organelles of the cell which perform different functions are survive actually, you can say that, right? So this cytoplasm consists the various organelles. The cell actually are of 2 types. You know that the unicellular and the multicellular. So there is one difference between the unicellular and multicellular is that in case of unicellular, the organelles which have membrane are absent. It means almost all the organelles are absent in case of prokaryotes or unicellular organism. Only the ribosome is present, because ribosome is the only organelle which does not have cell membrane. Cell membrane is absent in case of ribosome. So ribosome is only present in the prokaryotic or unicellular organism. Next are the multicellular organism or eukaryotic organism, you can say that, which have all the type of organelles. All the type of organelles which are membrane bounded or without membrane bounded are present in the eukaryotic cells. Few exception in case of plants and animals. For example, vacuoles are useless for the animals, they are present in the plants. And chloroplast does not require for the animals. Chloroplast is present only in the like plastid or chloroplast present in only the plant. Animal does not require for this organelle, so this organelle is absent in case of animal. So this is the basic difference between plant and animal cell organelles. Generally the cytoplasm consists the different organelles, and we will discuss the one by one all these organelles, their function, because from this chapter the question based on the organelle is very important. And the concept of mitochondria, ribosome, these are the very two important organelles simply. So one more difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic about nucleus is there. Prokaryotic nucleus does not consist this nuclear membrane. This membrane is absent, which is double layered. I said that nucleus consists double layered structure. This membrane is absent in case of prokaryotic cells, and there is no another nuclear pore in case of prokaryotic cell. But in case of eukaryotic cell, there are double membrane as well as the nuclear pore are present. In case of prokaryotic cell, this nucleus is called actually the nucleoid. Nucleoid means which does not have nuclear membrane, or you can say that the false nucleus. False nucleus means which behave like nucleus but it is not truly the nucleus. Because in case of prokaryotes, this nucleoid consists the genetic material. The circular DNA is present actually, but in case of eukaryote there are the linear DNA is present like this. But in case of prokaryotic, the nucleus is present like this. So the nucleus which consists the genetic material like the nucleus but not completely nucleus, so it is called the nucleoid. And in case of eukaryotes, there is nuclear membrane also, nucleoplasm and nuclear pores. All these composition of the nucleus are present in case of eukaryote. So this kind of nucleus is called actually the true nucleus, right? So this is the difference between the nucleus in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, as well as the different organelles about the prokaryote and eukaryotes. In our next lecture we will discuss these organelles separately one by one. Thank you.